Mac makes it back just in time. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to College Football Talk on YouTube. We care about you. And that's why we're here to talk about football. Mac, are you ready to talk about football?
I don't know any of them. I don't care about them.
You don't care about football?
No, I don't care about the people. I don't know them. What? Why should I care?
I don't know what to think about that, man.
Here's the thing.
Offended everybody who has ever watched this show, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Good job by J.J. McCarthy. Take the handoff. Alec Manning is going to throw a pick. They give it to Cora. Up back. Cora. Touchdown, Wolverine. Roman Wilson does it again. Finds some daylight. He's got some speed and some blocker. Outside. Turns the corner. Blake Cora down the sideline. Looking over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Wolverine. McCarthy extends the play, now using legs. McCarthy a first down.
It's the greatest intro on all of YouTube college football, with all due respect to John Diadamo, who is out there in the chat, who is the co-host of one of the greatest Michigan channels on YouTube. That would be Michigan Football, at the voice of college football. You should watch them too. At any rate, Mac, how you doing over there? Brandon says go blue, by the way. Hey, Brandon.
Go blue, Brandon. Let's be honest.
Andrew says the Buckeyes are not taking this well.
Our entire audience comes from Voice of College Football, so chances are they do watch Voice of College Football.
They probably do. Yeah,
they do.
Why am I promoting? No. Like they need our help.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
Doing over there, Mac?
I'm getting over being sick. So,
all right.
I want everyone. Yesterday was the cold sweats and the shaking and stuff like that. I feel much better today, but now we've got the head all gunked up and, that kind of stuff. That's, you can't hear out of one ear and you feel like you're underwater the whole time. It comes and it goes. It's really not that bad. But I say all of this because I want all of you to understand what we go through on this channel to provide the quality content, half-assed content that you have come to expect from us. Okay? So the people in the chat say, this one guy commented on the video that I posted yesterday. He said, "This is the third trial I've given you, and I just can't. You're sadly not very good at this." Also, he spelled sadly wrong. He spelled it Sadie.
Right. But at least he's very committed to hurting people's feelings. So
yeah, how narcissistic do you have to be for you to think like I'm going to read your comment and be like, you know what? That made a deep and profound impact on me. I tell you what, I'm going to delete the whole damn channel. Bye.
Wow. Well, we've been told many times to delete the channel. So
we have.
One of these days we will. And the world will be sadder for it. I think it'll be a dark place that day. Yeah.
I think so. I'm just saying this. Okay, this is all I'm going to say. The Israel-Gaza confrontation didn't start until...
Don't. Stop. Look, GT commented in the chat and says, "I shorted Buckeye Scoop 3 months ago and looks like I can retire early now." GG Dope is out there. Go blue, baby. Yes, indeed. Go blue.
Go blue.
Brandon says, "So I was listening to Menace to Sports today. They heard that one of our Michigan sources said we're getting a $14 million fine. You hearing this too?" Okay. So Mac and I did our pre-show. That's all it is. It's just pre-show.
We did the pre-show.
We did the pre-show where we figured out all the stories we're going to talk about. And just as the intro started, let's see who Andrew posted, the Buckeye Scoopers are not taking this well. And I thought, oh yeah, we got to talk about the Spiro thing. I forgot all about that. So we're going to get to this, Brandon, in a little bit. Before we do, we are here to talk about college football. And can we just right off the bat, can we do the new logo thing?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so we have an announcement to make. This is why I put in the headline and the thumbnail major-ish announcement.
Yeah.
And really, I'll just give a quick little preamble here. This was a long time coming. We honestly knew that this was going to happen. And I will say this, that you've probably noticed that on this Big Ten channel, we only ever talk about Michigan or issues pertaining to Michigan. So we figured we'd just lean into that and kind of give in and realize we're not a Big Ten channel. We are the Michigan Wolverines Team Rivalry Show. It's a long title. It's a long title. Yeah. But it'll help us with the SEO. So honestly, this was just to boost our numbers. Really. That's all it was. People were coming expecting a Big Ten show and all they got were a bunch of Michigan homers and yeah, well, so there you go. We decided to lean into it. Honestly, that's what we should have called it, is the Michigan Homer Show.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
That would be cool. But that means
when we
dropping
start the show, we could go, dope. All right. That is our major-ish announcement tonight. We're going to be talking about the national perspective on Michigan. The Wolverine has out their 2025 Michigan football preview, and there's an article in there about the national perspective on Michigan. So we're going to take a look at a few of the quotes in there. We're also going to hit the AP poll with the coaches poll, find out what you guys think about that. By the way, in the chat, there is a poll. There's a poll about the polls. Which poll do you think is more accurate, the AP poll or the coaches poll? Looks like some of you guys are already in there. And after 12 votes, nice going, we have a 75% on the AP poll and 25% on the coaches poll. I'm actually a little surprised by that. I thought people would think that the coaches poll was more accurate, but we'll keep that poll going, and we will keep that poll going and update that throughout the show. We are also going to talk about Sherrone Moore just had a press conference. We're going to hit some of the highlights of that one, all that, and your chats in the next 90 minutes. Ish. And we are brought to you by Rise Window and Door. And I think we're going to, let me hit a couple of chats here, and then we will talk more on that. Right now, we've got Let's Toast Media. Says, go Blue Michigan. Go Blue.
Go Blue.
And he also says salute, which I just did because I read the chat ahead of time. And he says, hit the like. Yes, please. We are booming right now as far as getting subscribers and views and all that. Appreciate that. It's all thanks to all of you out there. You've all got the same kind of sense of humor we do, so it works out great. We have a lot of fun talking about football. We have a lot of fun talking to you guys and just hamming it up around here. So if you've earned it, please smash that like button. I mean, smash it. Hit it hard. Smack it. Smack it till you're done.
I guarantee you that however hard you hit the like button will be harder than the NCAA hits Michigan.
Right.
So
Brandon says, I also heard Pete Thamel is supposed to drop the news when the NCAA issues the punishment on ESPN. Yes, I heard that too. We're going to get into more of that here in a bit. Oh man, the Victors Team Rivalry show.
Oh, well.
Okay, next week we're going to have another major-ish announcement.
That's good. That's good. I chose
good. Yeah,
Michigan
Brandon,
because it was better for the SEO. So
yeah, that's a good one, Brandon. Well,
that is good.
That is going to be our unofficial title, I think. Yeah. GT says we will never forget 1997. No, we won't, because we got a national championship that year. GT says, burn the coaches poll. Okay, why? So I growing up, my stepdad loved college football. He loved all sports. I mean, he could name players and games and all of that from throughout history. Football, basketball, golf, even hockey, baseball. He knew all of them. And he always said that the coaches poll was more accurate. So that's kind of why I brought this up. But GT, let me know. Why do you say burn the coaches poll? Let's put that out there. Blue Wolverine is in the chat. Good to see you, Blue. Using the crying Ryan emoji. You can the emojis show up on YouTube. They don't show up here. If you're a member, you get to use our custom emojis. So there's that. Brandon says, ha ha ha, LMO, I am creative. Yes, you are. It was a good job. GG Dope says, I voted coaches. The AP poll is awful. They just randomly put teams in there that don't belong. There's no way Penn State is the second best team in the country. Come on, man. I mean, yeah, that's entirely possible.
So, okay, but that's the argument for no preseason polls whatsoever.
Right. By the way, okay. Hey, GG Dope, thanks for watching.
Hey, GG Dope, yeah. You know what, GG Dope, I really appreciate your comments on my videos because I get so many crappy comments, and then I see your comment, and I'm just like, sweet. One person likes our video.
Yep.
And that's awesome. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But that's literally okay. So that right there is the argument for why there should be no preseason polls, because the preseason polls come out. You got the coaches poll coming out, and you've got literally trying to look up the coaches poll right there. It is. You've got the coaches poll coming out. You've got the AP poll coming out. And everybody's saying, like everybody's spouting off about things that happened last season. And that's why these teams shouldn't be ranked as highly as they are. They're saying, okay, Michigan went 8-4 last season. Why are they ranked number 14 in the preseason AP? I don't know. It's probably based on their current talent level. And everybody knows that Michigan's going to end up with a top 5 defense, possibly the best in the NCAA or CFB. Wow. Everybody knows that Penn State has their best shot at a national championship based on talent level of their team this year than they have in past years. So they've obviously got a really strong team. Ohio State's at 3. I don't know why anybody's complaining about that, except for the fact that Penn State is ranked above them. So
Ohio State has been disrespected by being number 3. They're the national champions, darn it.
Yeah, whatever. You guys lost a lot, including your 1-year quarterback, your one and done dude in Will Howard. Now, he was really good, and I won't crap on him. I'm just, whatever. Anyway, point being that none of this matters. Literally none of this matters. I mean, you've got the talent levels and stuff like that. And so we could do something like power ratings. We could have, the individual talent of the players be measured and have the composite rankings turned into like a sort of a power rating. That's fine. But this is exactly why preseason polls just simply should not exist, period. But also, I think it's really stupid to bring up past results as reason for why this particular AP poll is bad. Like, yeah, Penn State lost to Ohio State last year. So that has no bearing on this year's team. Michigan went 8-4 last year. So that has no bearing on this year's team. Why the hell is Indiana ranked? They're not going to be good again this year, guys. They're a one and done team. Anyway.
All right. We have Blue Wolverine coming through again, gifted 50 Big Ten Team Rivalry Show memberships. Oh, we got to change that in the
wow.
There. But wow, Blue Wolverine, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I just saw it like flying by on the chat. I'm like, what is going on over there? I don't know if I can even read off all of those. We've got, let's see. Well,
actually,
what?
This is a good time to mention the fantasy football stuff.
Well, let's do, okay, before we get into that, first of all, again, thank you, Blue Wolverine. You're awesome. I'm going to read off some of these in a minute here. Let's do the ad read.
Okay.
Let's go to our sponsor.
You got it?
I'm ready. Go.
Oh, all right. Here we go. This episode of the Team Rivalry Show is powered by Rise Window and Door. Serving Jackson, Ann Arbor, and Lansing, Rise delivers expert craftsmanship, not just in windows, doors, and custom trim, but across the home improvement spectrum. Locally owned and operated, they bring big precision with small town care. No cookie cutter solutions, no shortcuts. Whether it's upgrading your exterior or transforming your interior, Rise handles every detail with the care and precision you'd want for your home. Call 810-673-7473 or head to risewindowdoor.com to schedule your free consultation today and let Rise help you realize the vision you have for your home. They're a supporter of the show, so honestly, guys, if you're looking to have any home improvement projects completed, they're going to do the best job you could ask for, and you'll be supporting the channel, so it's a win-win.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, and it does incredible work. And as we've said before, not only can he do the job you ask him to do, but he can even do custom stuff while he's there. He's really good. Worth your time if you're making some home improvements or need to fix anything around the house. So definitely that. All right, let me get back to these chats then. Holy moly. Okay, so 50 of them. Goodness
55
gracious.
Now. I think Gigi Dope did 5 more.
Did she really? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Wow. Really appreciate that.
James Monroe, Charles Kennebrew, Mark, Old Dad 599, Exploring with Ben and Sam. All right.
Are you going to name off all 50?
I don't know that I can. I wanted to hit a few of them here. Tim L. Okay. Let's see. Hiker Mark, Brian Sold, Jay Cannon, Myron Shubko. I think that's right.
Chugo.
Brian Thomas, Jesse Leone. I just on and on here, guys. I wish I could name them all off, but we've got and Mackenzie. You got in a membership.
Hey, all right.
Wait a minute.
Thanks, Blue Wolverine.
How did that work? You're not already a member? What's going on? All right.
It's random, I think. But yeah, really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, really appreciate that.
Awesome.
Let me see.
Thank
Where
you
was
so much.
you said Gigi did one also?
She did 5. George McLaughlin, Zoom 47, Max 77. Hey, all right. John Wagner, Brian Wilson.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Gigi, thank you very much. Gigi and
Appreciate
Wolverine
you.
coming through for us. Really appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Now I got to go back through here. We wanted to, okay. Why don't we talk about, just because we didn't plan on it, we might as well throw this out there first. And we're not going to spend a ton of time on it, but let's talk about this rumor that the NCAA punishment is only going to be
Gigi Dope's a dude.
Oh, sorry, guy.
Have we been calling him a girl this whole time?
I think I have. The only Gigis I know are girls. I guess, well, and we run into this every once in a while because Mackenzie often gets mistaken just because of his name, but it's a guy's name. Sorry, Gigi.
Yeah.
I
My wife didn't know she's a lesbian, but sorry, Gigi.
Goodness gracious.
Anyway.
All right. Getting back to, let me hit a couple on the coaches poll here. So Gigi said, I voted coaches. The AP is awful. Oh, I got this one.
That's
yeah, we got that. So GT says the Tennessee coach voted Michigan number 4 in 1997, and that cost us the consensus championship. Yeah, I remember that. That's why a lot of people don't like the coaches poll. And I mean, yeah, he says bitter coaches can throw it off. That's kind of the problem with both of them, I think. GT said the AP has some flaws too. They all do. And especially preseason polls, because nobody knows. You, like Mac was saying, you can't go off past performance. To a large extent, you can't go off past performance. Brendan says because the AP poll is all that matters, and Michigan finished number 1 for the AP in 97. Yep. Gigi says, LOL, more than one person. You guys are great. Probably more than one person says nice things in the comments.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, it's true. It is true. But
yeah,
I appreciate it for sure.
Oh, I just noticed your avatar too. I like that avatar. Nice. There's Jesus and the cross there.
Oh, all right.
Cool. Okay, so let's get to that rumor about the that Spiro put out there. So Spiro, who is an MSU fan who has been trashing Michigan since the day he was born, I think,
just about
said that he hears from a good source. And is he telling the truth now? Who knows? Did he really hear anything? Who knows? Because I don't think he had anything right before. But he's saying that it's only going to be $14 million and a 4-game suspension for Sherrone Moore.
I think 2-game.
2-game?
Yeah, it was supposed to be that the NCAA was supposed to accept the 2-game suspension as sort of like a settlement.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was supposed to be the settlement for Shiron Moore. It was going to be a $14 million penalty to Michigan. Oh, thank you, Matthew Shepard. Appreciate you. And then show causes for Harbaugh and Stallions. Stallions, it sounds like, is going to get it pretty badly.
Yeah.
Harbaugh, it sounds like he's going to get the show cause, which cry me a river. He's not coming back to the college game, so who cares? But Connor Stallions, I'm curious what they're going to do with him because, I mean, at this point, he's been spouting off a lot on Twitter. And look, I've said before, I've said a million times that, if your name is being slandered the way that Connor Stallions is, if you feel your name is being slandered the way that Connor Stallions feels his name is, you can't stay silent. Like, I completely understand that. I'm the type of person where if somebody's talking trash about me, I don't care what's happening. I don't care what the circumstances are. I'm going to say something, especially if it's unjust. If it's just, then I'd probably join in and be like, yeah, I suck. What did you expect? But But frankly, I completely understand why Stalions is defending himself on Twitter. But the thing is he shouldn't be. And the NCAA is just going, well, not that he shouldn't be, but the NCAA says he can't. And they're probably just going to use that as more fodder for giving him the hammer. But that hammer is just going to hit Stalions, if anybody. That's it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, based on what Stalions has been posting on X, he still fully expects to be a head coach of the college football team. So
well,
he doesn't seem to think it's going to be all that bad, at least for him.
I don't know. He doesn't seem to think it's going to be that bad for anybody.
Yeah.
I guess Harbaugh is probably going to Harbaugh is getting the show cause basically only because he didn't exactly help the NCAA in their investigation.
Yeah.
But again, we've talked about that. And yes, I am a Michigan homer, loud and proud. Michigan homer. Hi, how's it going? I've said before that it could very well be that Harbaugh didn't mean to not comply with the investigation. He didn't know what was going on. Like, obviously he's going to say, like, I have no idea what's going on with Connor Stalions. No, nobody's not doing anything. And then the NCAA is just like, well, we think he is. And so now we're going to charge you with obstruction of justice, whatever the NCAA version of that is. And then with Burgergate, they asked him, did you provide impermissible benefits to recruits? And he said no, thinking that burgers were not impermissible benefits. I mean, let's be honest, it's a cheeseburger. Calm down.
Yeah.
But, he may have said no, and then they're like, well, we count burgers as impermissible benefits, so boom, you're lying. It could have been. I'm not saying it was that. I'm just saying these are the types of things that we have to think about before we come to a judgment. And then we also have to acknowledge that could be completely wrong. Harbaugh, maybe he lied. I don't know. Maybe he did.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Oh, that's what I've got. That's it.
Oh, all right.
For that anyway.
What they were saying that what I think GT put it in the chat earlier about, is Thamel going to announce it this week? Well, or report it anyway. It would be nice if he did, so we can get this behind us, because it just needs to be over with. But I had fun today because all of the X tweets going back and forth, and I finally posted one because I saw a couple of Ohio State fans say they thought it was hilarious, all of these Michigan fans, falling for Spiro's tweet. So I posted on it and said, I don't think it's going to be $14 million. I think it's going to be $49 million. One for every point Michigan scored against Michigan State. And then Michigan State only has to pay $0. We all know why.
Because they got goose-egged. Yeah. I think so. I was going to say too about that, the whole, Michigan fans are all of a sudden taking Justin Spiro as gospel. Like, no, we're not. We're just laughing because Justin Spiro this entire time has been, Michigan's going to get the hammer. Michigan is the most corrupt program in the history of college football, and saying all of these wild things to the clapping seals that follow him. And then all of a sudden he's coming out and saying, hey guys, I think actually we might've been wrong. All of the Michigan fans look at that and go, "Ha, see, told you."
Yeah.
But that's not taking what he says as gospel. That's us saying, like,
yeah,
see, like,
well, so many of them are confusing the was it Matthew Yude? There's Matt Weiss, and then Yude. They're confusing those two incidents with the NCAA investigation. Those were completely separate. Those are just two guys that are terrible people who happen to work at Michigan. The only thing we're talking about here is the advanced scouting.
Alex Yude,
yeah,
that's his name. Yeah,
and like we said, I think we said it a couple of weeks ago. The worst thing, if you put the worst spin on this, basically what you have is Connor Stalions watched some games 3.5 hours before he should, and that's it. Because they all get their signs, however, and whatever. So, I mean, how is that the worst scandal in college football history? That doesn't make any sense. How is that worse than paying players when they weren't supposed to? But yeah, like GT here says, Buckeye fans wanted 51 games, one for each line of text, since they can't beat them. Yep, I believe that.
Yeah.
Diana Hale is out there. Going back to the polls. I don't like the polls too. I mean, Michigan will always be number one. Yes,
obviously
Michigan is always number one.
Look, I'm just going to say this: 8-4 Michigan better than 14-2 Ohio State. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
I think so.
That's all I'm going to say. Yeah.
Clay S said he's sick of this talk. Can't wait for the games. Yeah, I get it. Me too. I don't like
I don't
talking about
know.
it anymore.
I'm kind of having fun now talking about how Ohio State might have to eat it.
They might, yeah. This whole thing could change on a dime here once that punishment comes out.
Yeah.
GT says Stallion's lawyers will go to town on the NCAA. I've heard that from a couple of places. I don't know if they will. I guess it depends on what they do to him.
Well,
because the NCAA didn't fire him, Michigan did. So
yeah, but the NCAA. So yeah, I guess I don't know what they would sue the NCAA for, other than like maybe defamation or something, or they would probably. Okay, so he resigned actually.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know what he would actually go after the NCAA for, because it's weird. Like the NCAA is their own ruling body, so they're making the rules for their part, and then what are they going to do in the actual criminal justice system? Be like, well, according to us, this rule is how it is, and then the judge just has to be like, well, okay, they determine the law of their jurisdiction, and so Michigan has to follow that, even if it is subjective to the NCAA.
It would be more of a civil suit than a criminal suit. Yeah.
I take it back.
Yeah. Okay. Brandon says there's a reason he's probably speaking out. Maybe he's right about what he's saying. Connor Stallings, that is. Yeah. I mean, he would be silly to be saying what he's saying now if he has no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's why I mean, and like the press conference with Sherrone Moore, and he was asked about, the upcoming situation, and he actually smiled when he said he didn't want to talk about it. You don't smile when you know you're about to get destroyed. You smile when you know that you're about to find out, everybody else is about to find out what you know, which is not what everybody else thinks it is. So it would just be nice to get it over. Matthew Shepard says, got an Ohio YouTube had to acknowledge there's no hammer coming. They did a segment on their today's video about it. LOL. Menace to Sports, I believe. Oh, all right.
I've heard really good things about Menace to Sports. I've been meaning to catch their shows.
I know Doreen really likes them. So
it's the Zach Smith.
Yeah.
Is
he on that one?
Yeah, so he was the coach who was accused of assaulting his wife, right? But she was lying.
Yeah, it turned out not to be true.
Yeah, so he got acquitted of that. Yeah. And apparently, according to Doreen, he's a super nice guy, and they've got a really great channel over there. So I've been meaning to catch some of his stuff.
Yeah. When other GT says when other players are getting Lambos, you can understand why Harbaugh would think a cheeseburger was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, freaking
Clay
Texas.
says a quarter pounder with cheese. Oh, without cheese.
Freaking Texas. Somebody investigate Texas. Lamborghinis on the side of the field for their recruiting days. And that's not incitements or enticements or whatever.
Yeah. Tree Dog, how you doing, man? Thank you very much. Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, Brandon got the joke. 49-0, easy layup. It was. But it was fun to do. All right, let's get into a different story because we're all tired of that. You want to do the national perspective on Michigan?
Yes, but should we mention fantasy football while we've got everybody here and before I forget?
Yeah, let's do that. Go for it.
Okay, so this is for members only, which understandably is now basically everybody in the chat at this point. We're planning we've been trying to brainstorm on the channel for the longest time. What do we do for our members? We really appreciate all of you. Obviously, it's only $1. I feel like we can all swing that, but we want to make that dollar worthwhile, right? So what did we decide to do? We decided fantasy football. Duh. We're doing a members only fantasy football league that you can be a part of. And I don't know what the max is per se, but here's how you can be a part of it. Okay. So first off, you have to be a member, which there's like 100 members now, I think. Thank you, Blue Wolverine and GG Dub and GG Dope. So you have to be a member. You have to message me, DM me at B1G Team Rivalry on X saying that you'd like to play fantasy football with us. We will have the draft on August 28th. We will do a members only live stream. The draft will be on August 28th. I'll make sure to put it in, the community tab and whatnot. And then the actual season starts on September 4th. So we should have plenty of time to do the draft and all. Well, obviously we'll have time to do the draft. But in any case, yeah, draft on August 28th. You have to be a member. DM me on X if you want to be a part of it. I don't know what the max is off the top of my head. So it is kind of a first come, first serve sort of situation. There is a prize, and I will tell you that prize right the heck now. $50 gift card to Rally's. What is it called? Rally Sports?
Rally House.
Rally House.
Yeah, Rally House. Yeah.
Yeah, $50 gift card to Rally House because Campus Den apparently went under. And that was originally going to be the prize, was a $50 gift card to Campus Den, but no longer. It is a $50 gift card to Rally House. So if you guys want to play some fantasy football with us, DM me on X, and should be a good time.
Yeah, cool. All right. National perspective on Michigan. Oh, I click a button and there we go. National perspective on Michigan. So we have some quotes. Oh, no, that's going to be right in the way. I'm going to move this down here. There we go. So the Wolverine, like I said, they came out with an article on the national perspective on Michigan. So they talked to these four guys. I had this open a minute ago and now it's gone. It was a guy from CBS Sports and Athlon, and oh, there it is. Nope, there it is. Okay, sorry. Quality
so this is the type of quality content that everybody comes to
kind
expect.
of stuff.
Yeah,
B-Dubs gives out memberships for.
That's money well spent, B-Dub.
We got Bill Bender from Sporting News, Tom Fernelli from CBS Sports, Steve Lawson from Athlon Sports, and Andy Staples from On3. The first question, and this was the second question that was asked. I don't want to do all of it because, this is paywall stuff. So I don't want to give away their stuff. It's not fair for me to do that. So here we are. The first question was, in today's college football, what should be the realistic expectation and goal for teams like Michigan? So Bill Bender says it's been 1 year, but I'm starting to think coaches will be judged on making the CFP more than their regular season resume. Making the CFP will be the equivalent of leading a Sweet 16 run in basketball, and that's going to be the goal every season. Mac, agree, disagree?
That's an interesting point. Okay, but again, all right. I'm about to go off here. This is why the playoffs should not have been expanded, because Michigan's season was dependent on, did they beat Ohio State? Did they beat Michigan State? Did they win the Big Ten? That's no longer the case. Now it's based on, did they make the CFP, which only exists to make ESPN more money. It's only at 12 teams to make ESPN more money. So Michigan's season is now defined based on how, well, this is going to be a little cynical, but based on how much money they make ESPN, right? It's not based on these traditions of college football. Now, fine. If that's the way that this sport is going, fine. We need a little bit better of a definition in the conferences, in the divisions and stuff like that then, because I don't want there to be a point where Michigan plays Ohio State more than once per year. We need to bring back the divisions. The divisions need to be a little bit more even. There needs to be relegation. Yeah, that's what it's called. There needs to be like a Division I, a Division II, to make sure that it's not like the Big Ten East and West, where the West couldn't do anything and the East won every single year. Basically, the one that won the East every year went to the CFP and either made it to the national championship or won it. So there needs to be something done to make this a little bit more even if the CFP is really what we're going to be doing now. If that is the be-all, end-all of the season now is the CFP. So maybe that's one way that they can make the season a little bit more meaningful, but this just kind of proves that the season isn't that meaningful anymore. I mean, Ohio State proved it last year. Ohio State lost to Michigan, a 6-4 Michigan team, had no business going to the CFP, but still went and then made the best of it. And again, that was an incredible run. They have some really likable players, not Jack Sawyer. They have some really likable players on their team. Travion Henderson, Will Howard seems like a really nice guy. Quinshon Judkins, I know he's gotten into a little bit of trouble lately, but going to withhold judgment there. They had a lot of likable players. They went on a historic run. That's great for them. They just proved that the regular season doesn't matter as much as it used to. They just proved that the game doesn't matter as much as it used to. So I agree with this. I just don't like it.
Yeah. Man, that would be interesting. I just, when it says Sweet 16, I automatically thought it would be interesting to see 16 teams in the playoff. I don't particularly like it either, but just the opportunity to call it the football Sweet 16, and now they would have to label, basketball Sweet 16, football Sweet 16. I don't know. Those are the kinds of things that spark my interest. Clay S says 8 teams at most. What do you think about 8 teams? I know you wanted to go back to 4 teams. What do you think of 8?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not really worried about a number. Well, I shouldn't say that I'm not worried about a number, because I want it to be 4. The problem is that, you start arguing about 8 teams, and it's like, well, that 9th team probably should have gotten in. I mean, Alabama last year was saying that they should have gotten into the CFP, and then they got ground into the dirt by Michigan's defense. So I don't know. I mean, 8 teams is better, but at that point, I think you need 8 conferences, or maybe 4 conferences, each with 2 divisions. And then that way you can have like a conference champion automatic bid, and then the highest ranked after that. So, but I think what they end up needing to do, just to kind of clear the whole thing of all of these issues that are being caused by the expanded playoff, is to just adopt the style of the NFL. It's a playoff that you have to play into. There's no more does your resume look good? It's did you win the games? And that's how it used to be. It used to be, I mean, when Michigan won the national championship 2 years ago, they won the games. They got the number 1 overall seed, and then they continued winning the games. Ohio State loses to Oregon and loses to Michigan. And Buckeyes Battle Cry, hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for hanging out. I think usually Rob's in the chat. But either way, Rob or Peter, nice to see you. You make a good point. I mean, get rid of conference championships. Yeah, because they kind of don't do anything. Hey, Rob, how's it going? Yeah, they kind of don't do anything. I mean, think about like Oregon and Penn State. Where did both of those teams end up at the end of last season?
But couldn't conference championships be the same thing as division playoffs like in the NFL?
Yes, but they need to be defined that way.
Okay.
Because the problem with it is, and I'm going to keep on picking on Ohio State, and I mean to an extent, but
that's the most recent example.
It is. It's the best example. It's Penn State and Oregon were in the Big Ten championship game. Oregon wins it. They get their seeding, and then they get blown out in the Rose Bowl by a team that didn't even make the conference championship. So what did that conference championship do for either Penn State or Oregon? Penn State had a better run in the playoffs than Oregon did. Oregon got shafted, man. Oregon got absolutely shafted. We all know Ohio State was probably the better team against Oregon, even in the regular season. They just didn't really play up to their potential. And I think Oregon probably outplayed themselves in that game, or just had a really good game. But I think that Oregon getting the seeding that they did in the CFP totally screwed them over, because Ohio State was always the better team, but they lost the games, thus didn't deserve to be in there. But they were in there because the CFP was expanded. So that kind of screws. So going to a conference championship, then Oregon probably should have sat it out, frankly, or forfeited, because they would have ended up in a better position. They wouldn't have gotten the credit for that win. They would have been ranked lower in the CFP, gotten a worse seeding, but wouldn't have had to play Ohio State again, and then would have made it further, theoretically speaking. And I'm going off of that because Penn State made it as far as they did, and they lost the game. So why bother having it? I mean, Penn State was way better than any of the teams that they played in the CFP. And they lost the Big Ten championship and got a worse seeding because of it, and then had a wide open field to the semis. I think that's how far they made it, wasn't it? Yeah, to the semifinals.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Rob also says to get rid of neutral sites and make it a home field advantage. I could see that. I mean, again, going to the NFL, you have to. In the NFL, it's always at an NFL stadium. There's no such thing as going to somebody else's stadium.
But the problem is that they've got contracts with all the individual bowls.
Right.
I mean, and probably what they should do is, I mean, I don't mind having the semifinals at neutral sites. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Quarterfinals, if I remember correctly, quarterfinals are not at are not at neutral sites, right? Or are those at neutral sites? I can't remember off the top of my head.
No, the quarterfinals were at the one of the teams. It was not a neutral site. It was a home field advantage.
It was?
Yeah. Wasn't it? Wait.
Now I got to look it up to make sure. I don't think that's
right.
No,
the quarterfinals were the bowl game. So the round one was the home field. No, because
you're right. Okay, so round one was home field advantage. Round 2 for Ohio State, this is Ohio State, was the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Round 3 was the Cotton Bowl against Texas, and round 4 was the national championship against Notre Dame. So I think the first round and the quarterfinal both need to be home field advantage.
Yeah. Hey, Tom.
What up, Tom? How's it going? The first and second round both need to be home field advantage. The second and fourth, or the third and fourth round rather, need to be or should be neutral site. The national championship definitely should be neutral site. The semifinal, I think, should be neutral site, because at that point, where are they going to use the bowl games? Because at that point, like the Sugar Bowl and the Rose Bowl both get shafted, but the Cotton Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl get the games.
Right. And Rob here's Buckeyes Battle Cry. By the way, Buckeyes Battle Cry, great channel. Check them out. Like and subscribe their stuff too. They do great stuff over there. He says, keep the bowl games, but let smaller schools get them for more exposure and money. I could see that. I think that's a fantastic idea, but that's not going to satisfy the people running the bowl games, because they want the marquee games. They don't want Western and Central coming in there.
Hey,
they want sorry.
Well, you got to pick.
They don't want Eastern and Central playing the Bahamas Bowl.
Yeah, no one wants Central at their bowl game. That's for sure.
So
Central
I mean, it's a great idea, but again, we're in that situation now. It's about the money. It's about getting the butts in the seats, and you got to get teams that get butts in seats.
Yeah.
Clay says conference title games are a nuisance at this point. Like Max said, they are if they don't set them up properly.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go to the next one here. This is still same question. And Tom Fernelli says, I still believe winning the Big Ten is and always should be Michigan's first priority, alongside beating Ohio State, which they've done very well the last 4 years. That said, I understand the landscape of the sport is changing dramatically. We can debate whether it's for the best or not until the end of time, but it won't alter the reality. And that is what's frustrating from a fan standpoint. We come up with these ideas, and there's nothing we can do about it, because they're not going to listen to us. Because when it comes down to it, if people want to buy tickets for the Rose Bowl, it doesn't matter how much you change it. It doesn't matter if there's like a boycott or something. Everybody wants to go to I want to go to the Rose Bowl. I'm not even sure I would care who was playing. I would just love to be there. That would be awesome.
It's funny because, I mean, all last year I was saying that the CFP shouldn't be expanded, and I stand on that for sure. I stand on principle here, guys. This is definitely something that it's really important to me. So I stand on principle here. But then I was watching Penn State versus SMU and I was like, this is actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was home field advantage for Penn State. There was no way SMU was going to win. Leaders and legends.
Leaders and legends. What a great idea.
Oh. I can't believe nobody's tried that.
Shannon Grapes, thanks for watching.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. But obviously SMU had no chance of winning. But then I thought, weird things happen sometimes in big games like this. Like, what if SMU like pulls it out or something? I don't know. And they didn't, and it wasn't really close. But it was kind of neat watching at least that first or second quarter, being like, this is kind of cool. I guess like it's a meaningful football game. I don't know.
Keegan has support for the 8 teams. Tom Bouchard likes the home games thing.
Yeah.
And Corey backs up. Keegan. Oh, we got another question here. Gigi asks, how do you guys feel about Peter Bork committing? I actually did a video on that Monday.
Yeah.
That's sitting out there. Peter Bork looks great. I was fascinated. I don't know if John Diadamo is still out there, but they were talking about it on their show. I did not realize that Peter Bork, who is the 27 class, that's 2 years from now, is actually a month older than Bryce Underwood.
Huh.
And Peter Bork will be a junior in high school this year, and Bryce Underwood will be a freshman in college.
Did he get held back?
Well, somebody had said in the chat, and I think it might have been Keegan, that he was held back for sports.
Oh,
so kind of like, and I don't want to mention the name, but remember when you were playing soccer and a couple of your buddies were held back, and this isn't even high school, this was middle school, and these 2 kids got held back because their dad wanted them to be able to compete. Do you remember that? Do you know who I'm talking about? Don't say the name. Do you remember who I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
This happens. This really happens where guys get held back by their parents because their parents are overzealous. I don't know what happened to those 2 guys, but Peter Bork, however, he's doing extraordinarily well. He's a 4-star quarterback. He is number 6 in the nation, number, what was
7.
it, 27 overall or 17 overall? No, not 17.
Hang on. I'll find it.
I forget, but he's pretty high up there. But yeah, I feel great about it. I think Michigan's QB room is going to be stacked for the next 3 or 4 years. So that's going to be awesome.
Hey. We beat out Cincinnati and East Carolina for him. There you go.
Well, and Georgia.
And Georgia and Florida.
And Penn State.
And Penn State. Yeah, you're right.
Penn State was apparently going hard after him, and they couldn't get him. So
yeah. Okay, so he is... according to 247 Composite, he's the number 6 ranked quarterback of the 2027 class. He's the number 75 nationally ranked player.
All right.
So, but still, I mean, top 10 QB coming to Michigan.
Yeah.
Again.
Yep.
I mean, this is literally the 4th year in a row that we'll have a top 10 QB coming in the recruiting class. Third year in a row.
Smeagol? What's
Brady Smeagol.
Brady Smeagol. Is he a 4? No, he must be a 4-star. Or is he I can't remember. Sorry.
He's a 4-star.
But he's also the 27 class. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
No, Brady Smeagol is 26.
Oh, really?
Hang on.
It said 27 at one point.
Did he decommit? Hold tight. I'm looking.
Oh no. Did he?
No, Brady Smeagol, 2026.
Okay.
4-star quarterback, 91 overall rating. He is the number 14 quarterback. So, okay, so top 15 then.
All right, awesome.
But the fact that, I mean, Michigan has not recruited quarterbacks like this ever. I mean, we got JJ McCarthy, Bryce Underwood. I have women's underwear ads popping up on my 247 Sports.
But I love this because Michigan is finally getting some consistency, some year-to-year consistency. We're heading into an era of reloading at Michigan rather than rebuilding.
Yeah.
And I love that. Actually, we're not heading into that era. We've been in that era since 21. So yeah, this is good. So on the national perspective thing, let me grab a couple of these. Brandon says, I will always want the goals to be beat Michigan State, Ohio State, win the Big Ten, make the playoffs, win a natty. Well, okay, sure. The Michigan standard that won't change. Yeah. Well, and you got to add Minnesota in there. We got to beat Minnesota because we got to keep that jug.
Yeah, seriously. How else are we going to water our players?
Exactly. Buckeyes battle cry. Playing for home field advantage would put more meaning into the regular season.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really good point. I think, man, I agree. I do agree. And I want to look for a silver lining. I want to look for a silver lining here, but I just don't want the playoffs expanded anymore.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, okay, but now here's Matthew Shepard, 2002. Go all the way 16 teams. Tell me it wouldn't be awesome to get a chance to beat Ohio multiple times a year, LOL, especially if we play them in any championship as well, beating them in the regular game. So there's an old axiom or whatever that it's very difficult to beat the same team twice in the same year. And Ohio State proved that last year because Buckeyes Battle Cry, Rob and Peter were talking about that on our show last year. And sure enough, that's what happened. Ohio State lost to Oregon in the regular season, destroyed Oregon in the playoffs. So I don't know. I don't know what the mentality is there. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it does seem to happen fairly regularly. So
it does, yeah.
But if they played 3 times, who wins that third game? That's what I want to know.
No, I don't want to know that.
Yeah.
I'm
well, fine.
At that point, it's like, okay, yeah, all right. It would be awesome if, we beat Ohio State in the regular season, and then we beat them in the Big Ten championship, and then we beat them again in the playoffs. Like, holy crap, that would be amazing. And we win 8 in a row against the Buckeyes all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But then it really is meaningless.
Okay, so the next question here. Whoops. What do you expect out of freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood this season? Will he win the starting job right away? Now, this came out a couple of weeks ago. It sounds like, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. That's one of the things that was in the press conference. Sherrone Moore is going to announce the starting QB. We all kind of expect it to be Bryce, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so Bill Bender from Sporting News says it could mirror in some ways what Dylan Raiola did at Nebraska last season. He finished with 2,819 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. And he also led the Huskers to their first bowl victory since 2015. Underwood takes over a program that is ahead of that schedule. Thoughts?
I expect freshman mistakes from a freshman. I don't know what to make of Bryce Underwood. Because every objective bone in my body wants to be like, he's a true freshman. Like, come on. At the same time, we're hearing a lot of reports from people who have nothing to do with Michigan football that he is basically the second coming of Cam Newton. That he is
Chad Henne.
Or Chad Henne. Yeah, that he will come into week 1 against New Mexico and just light it up. And it's just not even going to be fair. Like, he's going to be a revelation at quarterback. And I will build on that and say that I really hope that he's staying off the internet, because if he's seeing some of the things that people are saying about him, he's going to feel a lot of pressure, and that's not going to help anything. Yeah. So I don't know. That being said, he also, Steve Dace made this point. He also doesn't need to be that good, because Michigan's got weapons around him, especially in the running game. I understand that Michigan's wide receiver room isn't exactly where we want it to be, but some of the reports that I'm hearing out of fall camp are that the wide receiver room is actually not bad.
Yeah.
That Frederick Moore is having a really good fall camp. Samaj Morgan's having a really good fall camp. Donovan McCulley, Jack Tuttle can't stop saying positive things about Donovan McCulley, and he played with Donovan McCulley at Indiana for a little bit, and that was back when McCulley was still a quarterback, but he played as wide receiver a little bit too, and now he's playing obviously wide receiver for Michigan. Jack Tuttle is singing his praises over there. So I think at that point, then maybe the weapons around Bryce Underwood are actually pretty good. We still need to figure out the offensive line. It sounds like Greg Crippen and Giovanni El-Hadi are basically solidified as starters, which we all kind of figured was going to be the case. Evan Link and Andrew Babaloa are still in a battle for that left tackle position.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Evan Link is having a really good fall camp, that he's made a lot of progress since last season. looking a lot stronger and doing a lot better there. But that being said, Andrew Babalola is still kind of giving him a run for his money, which does that mean Evan Link is not playing as well, or does that mean Andrew Babalola is playing just incredibly well for his for where he is in his maturation right now? I think it's the latter from what I'm hearing. I think it is the latter. So I think that Michigan's offensive line could actually potentially surprise a lot of people, which means that it really comes down to just a couple of things left. I mean, first off, Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall as RB1 and 2, they're going to be really good. Who's going to be that third stringer? Benjamin Hall, I hear, is stepping up. Benjamin Hall? Micah Capana. I can't remember. But either way, running back room is in good shape. It's that third string that, things might be a little shaky, but we'll see. That just leaves a quarterback. And that means Bryce Underwood. I mean, he's mobile. He's a big dude. He just needs to stay healthy and play serviceable ball. And Michigan can go 12-0 and right back to the Big Ten championship game. So, I mean, even if Bryce or Underwood has a Dylan Raiola type season, I think it's going to be more than 13 touchdowns. I think it'll be less than 11 interceptions, just simply because I don't see Chip Lindsey giving the true freshman quarterback the ball, say 40 times a game. I think they're going to be running it a lot more. I mean, you don't bring in Justice Haynes to keep him on the bench. That's right. Benjamin Hall went to North Carolina. Thanks, Shannon. Micah Capana, I think, is still with the team. CJ Hester just transferred out, though. But that being said, as far as a whole team construction kind of goes, Michigan is way ahead of where Nebraska is this season and when Dylan Raiola was a freshman. I mean, Michigan's rebuilding isn't really rebuilding. They just had a bad year at quarterback last year. If they had a serviceable quarterback, they're back in the playoffs. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. Kirk Campbell had an ego, it sounds like. Fine, whatever. This season, Michigan is way ahead of where Nebraska is from a full team construction. And honestly, the majority of that is because of the defense. The defense is going to be top 5. The defense is going to win Michigan football games. We're once again in a situation where Bryce Underwood just needs to keep his head on straight, and Michigan can go 12-0.
Well, I'm trying to remember here. So Matt Rule's first year at Nebraska was 5-7. Last year they were 7-6. So Sherrone Moore has already gone 8-5. So he's either on target with Matt Rule in season 2, or he's ahead of him, depending on how you look at that.
Well, but he's ahead of him because think about like when Matt Rule came into Nebraska, you're talking about a full team reconstruction.
Right. Yeah. They chased Scott Frost out of there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but also maybe that's more impressive then because, Matt Rule took this full team reconstruction and took them. You said 7-5 or
5-7 their first year.
Oh, well,
Matt
all right.
Rule's
Never
first
mind.
year. Yeah.
Never mind then. But either way, I mean, again, that's a full team construction.
Yeah.
Sherrone Moore was really just a quarterback away.
Was he though? Because I mean, Sherrone had to rebuild the staff too. Maybe he kept recruiting solid, but he had to bring in some more staff.
But the staff was all mostly people who were already at Michigan or already familiar with Michigan. Like Wink Martindale, coached with the Baltimore Ravens. That's the style of defense that Michigan runs and has run since Mike McDonald was the DC.
Right. And there's some association there with Michigan too. So
yeah. So that, I mean, most everybody else, the problem, I think, between Kirk Campbell and the quarterback, I think that's really where the problem was. So Sherrone Moore was really just, I'll say a quarterback away. That's not fair to Davis Warren or Alex Orji because I think they did the absolute best they could. I mean, they are warriors. They fought. They have great stories. I think probably most of the blame should go on to Kirk Campbell, especially because what I heard was actually that he had a bit of an ego and didn't want to listen to other coaches or anything like that, and wouldn't change.
Okay.
So if that's the case, then we'll just go ahead and put some of the blame the majority of the blame on Kirk Campbell. But at that point, still, I mean, Sherrone Moore is a quarterback and an offensive coordinator away from, let's say, 10-2, because I still don't think they're beating Texas or Oregon.
Yeah, GT points out that our schedule is much easier than last year. I think that's true, except for the no back-to-back home games.
So it's true. I'm hearing some thoughts against that. And as I get my thoughts in my foggy, mucus-ridden head together, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. We're only 30 subscribers away from 2,000. Deanton Lynn, it really is going to depend on what Deanton Lynn's able to do with that defense. Because, yeah, I mean, teams that flew across country or flew across these 2 time zones over to, USC and Washington, the stat is something like 2-15, went 2-15 last year.
Yeah, it's pretty lopsided. Yeah,
it's stupid. Penn State almost lost to USC. I don't know.
It wasn't UCLA. I mean,
well, sure. Yeah. Make of that what you will. I mean, even Michigan came back and had the lead at one point against Washington, I think. So, does that mean that Michigan's going to go to USC this year and lose? I don't think so. I think Michigan still has what they need to win, but that's going to be a tough game. That is a very, sleeping on the USC game, Clay. Yeah, I agree. I think USC is going to be a tougher game if for no other reason than flying a few thousand miles out to LA. And LA smells bad, man. I couldn't imagine playing football out there, but
it smells like car exhaust all the time.
But
I know I lived there, so I speak from experience.
Yeah, but still, I do think that Michigan still has everything that they need to beat USC. And USC is starting over with a new quarterback as well. So he might not be ready for Michigan's defense either. I mean, Michigan's defense, the defense travels better than the offense, from what I understand. So if Michigan's defense can carry them to the fourth quarter with at least a close game or the lead, I think Michigan beats USC. And maybe even if they have the lead, they end up beating them by a couple of scores. It could also be that Michigan just goes to USC and trounces them. It's one of those things.
Matthew asks a quick question here. Something crazy to think about. Any thoughts on Bryce Underwood becoming a freshman Heisman contender?
As long as John Mateer doesn't get suspended for sports gambling, which I don't think is going to happen. I think I kind of believe that it was an inside joke with the whole John Mateer sports gambling thing.
Yeah, it seems like that. Yeah.
It's such a stupid story. Until there's evidence, it's a stupid story.
I just did a quick lookup. So this is coming from Copilot. I know AI data sometimes isn't accurate, but it says that there's only been 2 freshmen to ever win the Heisman, and they were actually redshirt freshmen, not true freshmen. So Bryce Underwood is a true freshman.
Yeah.
But it was in 2012. It was Johnny Manziel, and 2013, Jameis Winston. Yeah.
Jameis Winston.
Okay. Texas A&M and Florida State, of all places. So. Well, Florida State. I mean, they're obviously good, but anyway,
not really.
Well,
Mike Norvell's on the hot seat this year.
Well, they used to be good.
Remember the guy who said that he was going to eat dog poop out of the red Solo Cup if Florida State lost to Boston College? He still hasn't done it.
No, I wouldn't. I'd just pretend I never said that.
Yeah. Well,
but what do you think? Bryce Underwood, is he a freshman Heisman contender? It is so hard to tell because anyway, go ahead.
Ask me after the New Mexico game, honestly, dude. Just ask. Yeah. We need to hit Penn State sports talk. We need to hit. Can you hit that Penn State? Yeah.
That one?
Yeah. Jaden Denegal transferred to San Diego State. He's starting at San Diego State, not at Michigan. Right. Jaden Denegal is not at Michigan right now.
Was that the confusion?
That was the confusion.
Because I saw that on X, and there was this whole Jaden Denegal thing, and Bryce Underwood's trash. And I'm like, but Jaden's the one who transferred.
Yeah.
So maybe people just didn't know that that's what happened.
I guess. Yeah. A lot of Ohio State fans said that apparently didn't know that he transferred. But yeah, Penn State sports talk. Nice to see you again. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. Thanks for watching for sure.
Yeah, he's Jaden Denegal's at San Diego State. He transferred away from Michigan over the offseason, and he won the starting position there. So, yeah.
All right. Shannon Graves says the offensive play calling from Michigan last year was like torture. Yes. Turnover machine, 2.5 yards of play garbage. Chip Lindsey should absolutely fix that.
Sorry, I saw I saw Penn State Sports Talk commented. He said, "Oh, okay, I see what you mean." Yeah, so there you go.
All right.
But again, thanks for hanging out. Hopefully, no one goes too hard on you.
Yeah.
The offensive play calling from Michigan last year was like torture, turnover machine, 2.5 yards of play, garbage. Chip Lindsey should absolutely fix that. Yeah. I mean, the offensive play calling last year. I will go back to the 4th and 14. No, it was 4th down, 4th and goal. I think it was. Michigan had a chance to get back into the game against Oregon, and they run the end around with the wide receiver trying to throw the ball back to Alex Orji, and Alex Orji gets taken out by the camera crane. Ridiculous play call. Ridiculous play call. Just
the announcer literally goes, oof.
Oof. Yeah. Oof. That's a play call that we all looked at and went, oof. Yeah. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That was almost as dumb as the end around fake whatever on 4th and 1 against TCU in the whatever bowl game that was, Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
That was trash play calling. Yeah, unfortunately, I think Kurt Campbell wasn't cut out to be OC. And it's unfortunate because he helped Michigan offensively win a national championship in 23. You know, there's no way around that. But it just didn't work out. So
yeah,
it is what it is. But yeah, I think Chip Lindsey will fix that for sure.
Yeah. Clay S says if Michigan QB shows out in prime time, they get hype like Denard did. I hope okay, let me just say this real quick though. I love Denard. Denard is one of my favorite players to watch. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
Kind of a glass jaw. So when he got hit, he was out for a quarter. And
yeah, but he always got hit.
I know. So, but I mean, obviously a fantastic player, absolute joy to watch him run. So, but anyway, go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah. So if Bryce Underwood plays up to expectations, or at least the expectations that have been set by some of the national media or some of the people saying that he's already playing like an NFL quarterback, which guys, just pump the brakes, please, for our own sanity.
Slow down.
Let's just see what happens against New Mexico, and we'll go from there. I mean, if he's been ordained by God himself to be the quarterback of all quarterbacks, is that blasphemous? Am I about to get hit by lightning?
No, I think you're fine.
Sweet. Then fine. We'll come on the show and we'll say, guys, I think. No, I'm not going to make that joke. That is blasphemous. Guys, I think Bryce Underwood is a really good quarterback. We'll come on the show and say that. We will. But I just, you just calm down a second. But again, we don't need a revelation at quarterback. We need a serviceable quarterback for this season. This season.
Well, and yeah, that's what GT says here. We beat these guys without a quarterback last year, so I like our chances in just about every game. Yeah, I mean, as long as the defense stays solid, we only need the offense to be just a notch better, and
yeah,
it should be great. All right, let me go to the next question here. I was hoping to get through all of these. We might not get through all of them. Okay, same question. And what do you expect out of freshman quarterback Bryce Underwood? Will he win the starting job right away? I doubt it, says Tom Fernelli. My guess is Sherrone Moore will follow the lead of Jim Harbaugh and the way he treated J.J. McCarthy as a freshman. With the experience of Mikey Keene transferring in from Fresno State, I expect he'll be your starter.
Is
Mikey Keene practicing?
So it doesn't sound like it. No.
Okay.
Steve Dace has talked about this. Mikey Keene has talked about himself saying that he does expect to see playing time this year. But none of the wide receivers during press conferences or anything, whenever they're asked questions, they've never once mentioned catching a pass from him. And Mikey Keene has unfortunately had injury problems. He's very experienced with injuries. He's had injury problems quite a bit. He's a good quarterback for sure. I mean, we saw what he did at Fresno State. I mean, and he kept Fresno State in the game against Michigan last. Well,
yeah.
Frankly, so did Davis Warren. But
hey.
But whatever. I mean, but he is a good quarterback. I don't think he's starting. I mean, look, I was listening to Isaiah Hull today. He had Jack Tuttle on again, and Isaiah Hull, he said, obviously we don't want to assume anything. Nothing's been announced, but let's just theoretically pretend that Bryce Underwood is the starter because we all know he's going to be the starter. And Jack Tuttle gave this laugh like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like Bryce Underwood's going to be the starter. I would probably put money on that, but now that I've said that, I'm not going to. Right. But Mikey Keene, I don't think it's going to be a JJ McCarthy freshman year situation because Mikey Keene, I don't think is in the same position as Cade McNamara was, or I'm sorry, Bryce Underwood's not in the same position as Cade McNamara was. And Mikey Keene's not in the position JJ was. JJ was healthy. JJ was a really good quarterback. We were ready for him when he could come in and play. Cade McNamara was also good and healthy. Mm-hmm. So we had two healthy quarterbacks. Right now, we don't.
So Shannon Graves says that Alex Orji will probably be starting too. That'll be interesting because he's over at UNLV now.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see it. I actually liked Alex Orji. I think they didn't use him properly, and so he never really got his rhythm. I mean, also plus every time it was 3rd and 15 and Alex Orji came in, you knew what was going to happen. Yeah. Run up the middle.
But hey, I mean,
10, I guess. But yeah,
he had that 40 or 50 yard run against Ohio State that set up one of our many field goals. So
yeah.
I think it was anyway.
Oh, here we go. GT says, I've heard that Bryce throws paper airplanes and they turn into F-47s. Are we going to start making Bryce Underwood, Chuck Norris jokes now?
Yes.
We should just start the list. Here's the first one.
We should. Yep. There you go.
Just answering a chat. Don't blame me. All right. I don't know what's going on there.
I blame you, Clay.
Nebraska Steve says Nebraska's O-line is much stronger this season than last with better pass protection and open running lanes. I expect QB Dylan Raiola will lead Nebraska to CFP contention. Go Big Red. I'd love to see it. Nebraska is another one of those teams that they were a powerhouse in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, even into the 90s. Fantastic record. Well, yeah, but they have that same history that Michigan does of being that powerhouse of the past. And we did that video on Matt Rule coming to Nebraska. That's out there if you want to watch that one on our channel.
That's a good one.
Talking about Tom Osborne and how he has a better record than Bo Schembechler, Woody Hayes, and the Penn State coach.
Joe Paterno.
There we go. So yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Nebraska back in the top there. I'm ready for it. I hope it happens. I like Matt Rule. I've told Justin over at Nebraska at the Voice of College Football that he's one of those coaches that every time you see him in a press conference, you just like him more. So I really hope for a lot of success over there. I hope that happens. Let me go to the next one here. What will new coordinator Chip Lindsey bring to the offense? Who's checking these things for typos? That's just awful. It was me. I'm sorry. I should have got that. All right. Andy Staples
suck.
On 3 says Lindsey is there to run Sherrone Moore's offense. So I don't think we'll see many twists relative to what Michigan has run the past few years. Lindsey, the OC, is historically run heavy.
Okay. No, he's not.
Okay.
Historically, he's 50-50. Historically, hang on. That's incorrect. That's the most
Hey, this is Andy Staples at On 3. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm about to take issue with Andy Staples here. Hold on.
He did say that Chip Lindsey as a head coach goes more to the pass, but when he's an OC, he goes run heavy. So I found that one kind of interesting as far as the dichotomy there as to why he would do that, head coach versus OC.
This is a guy. Okay, this is Chip Lindsey, the guy who he has worked with Drake May, Jarrett Stidham, John Rice Plumlee, Mikey Keene, Bryce Underwood, obviously, Corey Robinson, and Nick Mullins. Drake May, Andy no Staples, yeah. Drake May went 3rd overall in the 2024 NFL draft with 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns in 2023. Jarrett Stidham, 3,000-yard passer, all SEC selection from Auburn. John Rice Plumlee, dual threat quarterback, led top 10 rushing offense at USC. And yeah, I understand that says rushing offense, but because the quarterback did a lot of rushing too. What? No, he's not. Okay. His early career was emphasized by passing and spacing, influenced by air raid concepts. He learned under Todd Monken and Gus Malzahn, embracing physicality and run game fundamentals. His current approach is to run to set up the pass. You must run effectively, but then you have an explosive balance. Wants to marry physicality with vertical passing threats, but he has a player-first design. He builds schemes around personnel strengths, not rigid systems. He prioritizes QB decision-making under pressure, especially in red zone and 3rd down scenarios. He's even cited Lincoln Riley's offenses as a model, dynamic, adaptable, and built around maximizing talent. And if there's one thing that Lincoln Riley can't do is run the football very well. No, that's not true. I shouldn't say that. So this is a guy...
But Andy's saying here that Lindsey has to run Sherrone Moore's offense, not Lincoln Riley.
But he's not being brought in to run Sherrone Moore's offense. Sherrone Moore, Michigan will keep the smash identity, but Chip Lindsey is coming in to run Chip Lindsey's offense. Probably with a little bit of Michigan flavor to it, because again, Michigan's bringing in players that fit the Michigan identity, fit the smash identity that Sherrone Moore wants to use. Chip Lindsey is going to come in and take his what was it called? Air raid type offense. That's right. How did I forget air raid? Take his air raid type offense that has at least air raid influences, but also he believes in running to open up the pass. Okay. He's taking that and marrying it to Michigan's talent and what tools Michigan has available. So he's coming in to run what Chip Lindsey wants to run, provided what is being run fits the personnel that he has.
Okay.
But obviously, I mean, okay, so Andy Staples is half right in that the personnel Michigan has is, the players that Shiron Moore recruited. So there's Michigan's identity. But Chip Lindsey's still coming in with his own offensive philosophy. Chip Lindsey wasn't brought in to run Shiron Moore's offense. Chip Lindsey was brought in to help modernize that offense with Shiron Moore's identity.
All right. Dave's here. Apparently I have to put a point of order here. Dave, yes, you are correct. I could have done this a little better. He says, I don't get that the quote that is a quote of another quote is Clayton asking the question or Andy. Okay, so I got to take this down. But so Dave, yeah, you're right. I should have put the Wolverine Clayton safety. I spelled his name wrong too.
You spelled his name wrong too, dude.
Oh, for crying out loud. But yeah, it should be up there at the question. The question at the top is from Clayton, and then the quote in the white box is from the people they talk to. So I apologize for the confusion there. I could have done that better. I will fire myself.
You don't get any severance.
So Brandon says Sherrone brought Chip in to add the dynamic offensive scheme and pass game.
Yeah.
So that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Dave's here says they have said they are running Michigan's offense. So that's going to be the run heavy offense.
See, what I've heard is that he's coming in to help modernize Michigan's, and I shouldn't necessarily say modernize because like Harbaugh won a national championship with a run first offense. Like it is what it is, but it's not like he's coming in to continuously to run the ball all the time. Like he's going to have Sherrone Moore said that. Okay. Yeah. But like I took that to mean that Chip Lindsey's coming in to, they're going to have downfield passing. They're going to use the run to open up the passing game, frankly, like you should. But also, like he would be stupid to run an offense that doesn't fit the player. So it's like he's not necessarily, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have said that he's not coming in to run Michigan's offense. He's coming in to run an offense that's stronger than what Michigan had last year. I guess that's the point that I want to make is that he's not coming in to just do the same thing Michigan did last year. He's coming in to play to Michigan's strengths a lot better than what Kurt Campbell was able to do, but still with the philosophy that you're running to open up the passing game, but the passing game needs to remain an actual threat. Because like under Harbaugh, we had Roman Wilson, we had Cornelius Johnson, but the passing game, it's not like it lit anybody on fire. It was just really good. It was good enough that it kept defenses off kilter. I think that you're going to see more 50-50 ball with Chip Lindsey.
Yeah. I just want to remind everybody that the poll is still going on in the chat. Which poll is more accurate, the AP poll or the coaches poll? Currently, we have 68 votes. Thank you, everybody. 63% going for the AP poll, 37% going for the coaches. So we got a 2/3, 1/3 thing going on here. Well, pretty close anyway.
Hey, Johnny Oldham Jr.'s in the chat.
Hey,
what's up, Johnny?
Right. Kurt Campbell was horrible. Yes, that is correct.
Unfortunately, it is
that
correct.
Is accurate. Yeah. And while you guys are out there, don't forget to like and subscribe. If we've earned that subscription, it helps us out. Appreciate it. Hit that like button, smash that like button, give it what for and what not, and what all else.
Nice job there.
Thank you. I worked on that for seconds. The last question here is, what are your expectations for the defense after losing Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Will Johnson, and Josiah Stewart? Kind of loud, half the team left. Steve Lawson from Athlon Sports says, I think the outlook for Michigan's defense in 2025 is similar to the 24 version. I expect this unit to rank among the best in the Big Ten. The linebacker pairing of Ernest Hausman and Jaishwan Barham should be one of the best in the nation, and the line is stacked with talent. The secondary is my biggest concern. Thoughts?
Yeah, so he's not wrong, but I mean, your biggest concern, but honestly, the concern really isn't all that high. For me, I mean, so I'm hearing really good things about Jair Hill. I'm hearing really good things about Jaden Mangum. I think Jaden Mangum's a safety. Yeah, I mean, it's probably the weakest link on Michigan's defense right now, but I really don't think that it's going to be that bad. I think from what I'm hearing out of fall camp so far is that Michigan's secondary is actually playing pretty well. That like I said, Jair Hill is kind of stepping up. He's playing really good. Jaden Mangum's playing really good. Those are the only two names I can remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, I still think that Michigan's defense is going to end up top 5.
I'm sorry, I got to go back to this one here. Dave Cheer says having a one-armed QB doesn't help either. I don't know what that's in reference to, but it's true. Yeah, you want your quarterback to have two arms.
Well, usually.
Usually. Okay, that is the Nationals perspective thing. We've got time. Let's talk about a bonus round here. Let's do the AP poll.
All right.
The 2025 preseason AP poll, which everybody says they love the AP poll. I have the coaches poll on here too. I brought that just in case people liked the coaches poll more. But it looks like the AP poll is going to win the team rivalry poll, which is obviously the most accurate poll in college football history. But here we go. We've got and everybody's seen this. But Mac, what do you think here as far as what's his name? Phil Steele has Penn State winning it all. But here we have Texas at number 1. So Texas not being disrespected in the same way that Ohio State is by put it at number 3. Because somehow that's disrespectful. I don't know why, but apparently it is. Clemson at number 4, Georgia at number 5, Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama is number 8. Honestly, that's the one that surprises me the most. Alabama lost to Michigan last year. Actually, well, I mean, Ohio State did, but Alabama didn't make it into the playoffs. Why are they at number 8?
I don't know. I mean, Kalen DeBoer is a good coach, obviously. I think they're bringing in some solid talent, but this is why I don't like preseason polls, is because there's just no reason. I mean, why is Indiana at 20? Why is LSU at 9? Why is Clemson at 4? Clemson at 4. Well, no, that doesn't really make sense either. I don't know. Didn't
they lose in round 1 last year?
Clemson lost in round 2, didn't they? Also, I gotta stop for a second here. Who is Charisse, and why don't we want her to show up in the chat?
I think they were saying that Charisse is the Penn State bot, or what is a different one.
Oh, I didn't think that
Whether
we had a Penn State bot in the chat.
I didn't
Penn
think we
State
did either,
Sports
but I don't
Talk,
know.
He's not a bot. He's cool. We like Penn State Sports Talk.
Yep.
I mean, he shows up every week, so of course we like him.
Yeah. Okay, Clemson lost to Texas. Oh, they lost to Texas in round 1. Yeah.
Oh, they did. Yeah, you're right. Oh, Charisse spams OSU troll slogans nonstop. It's all copy paste. And this is a real person who does this. She actually spends time out of her life actually doing that. That's really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious. Okay, so Clemson, but again, past results don't matter.
Right.
Or at least they shouldn't.
What is the AP poll based on then?
Their feelings. I'll look this up. What is the pre-season AP poll based on? Let's see what we can glean.
Because
the AP poll, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
The AP poll is based on a blend of expert judgment. So it's subjective.
Yep.
Historical performance.
They all are for sure.
Historical performance, which does not matter. Roster analysis, which is probably the only thing here that matters, and projected potential. So 3 of the 4 things that the AP poll is based on is, I think they're good.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is. There's nothing to, it's all subjective. It's all the voters saying like, I think, I know,
Okay. Yeah. So Shannon here saying, all polls are subjective. Agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Texas
the
number
BCS
1
wasn't.
Well, right. Well, yeah, sure. It was calculated, but Texas, Penn State, and Ohio State at 1, 2, and 3, I think makes sense to me. And that basically based on what I'm reading in Phil Steele, that he thinks Penn State's going to win it all. Texas is obviously up there. Texas is the other contender. I think he actually had, no, I better not say. Oh, actually, I don't think he predicts that. He just says he thinks that Penn State's going to win it all. Yeah. Ohio State being at number 3, I get it. Ohio State reloads every year, so okay.
Yeah.
Clemson, I'm kind of surprised they're at number 4. I would have expected them to be down there, down a little bit. Oregon, I would have expected to be up a little higher. Alabama, I would thought would be below would be in the bottom 20, like somewhere between 21 and 25.
Oregon had a lot of turnover, actually. They have a new quarterback this year. Dante Moore, he's a good quarterback. Actually, Michigan wanted it. He's out of Michigan, but
Brennan says what's wild is they give Ohio State 3rd best odds to win the Natty after all that turnover, and Julian Sayin is an unproven QB. It's wild. Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah.
I think I don't even care necessarily that Julian Sayin is an unproven QB because let's be honest, so is Bryce Underwood, right? But I think, Julian Sayin, from what I'm hearing from Buckeye camps and stuff like that, I've heard people say that they look at Julian Sayin and they look at Lincoln Kindholtz and they say like, why are these kids on scholarship? Like they're not having a good camp. And then they have other weeks where they're actually performing pretty well. So
yeah,
who knows what's really going to happen with that. I know Julian Sayin is the favorite right now to be the starter. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. And GT points out they're losing both coordinators. So yeah, you've got, now I'm going to forget his name, but he went to Penn State, Jim Knowles at Penn State.
Yeah. Brian Hartline's the OC again, and that didn't really work out very well the first time. Of course, now he's learned a little bit more under Chip Kelly, but Chip Kelly was only there for 1 year.
Yeah.
So who knows? But then Matt Patricia is DC. We'll see.
I'm sure Matt's a great guy. Just, he has the lions hanging over him forever now. And it's not all his fault. But nevertheless. Dave's here says Clemson has a returning QB and NFL talent all over the place.
That's true. Okay, that's a good point. No, they are really talented. So I get it. I think Clemson is Clemson's kind of interesting because everybody looks at Dabo Swinney and says like, yeah, he had his moment, but he's not modernized in the new game. Like he does nothing with the transfer portal. But also, maybe he doesn't need to if he's getting these recruiting classes in and developing these players to compete for CFP appearances. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think Dabo Swinney's like, what is that term where you look at somebody and you just have a bad feeling about them? I don't know, whatever. The look and feel of Dabo Swinney right now is just not the public opinion is against him.
Now, what are your thoughts on Michigan being at 14?
I mean, my thoughts are that the entire poll should not exist.
Okay. So Michigan finishes out last season beating Northwestern, Ohio State, and Alabama.
Yeah.
Ohio State goes on to win the national championship.
Yeah.
Michigan is building a solid defense and offense this year, as far as we know. Is 14 too high or too low, or just right?
All right. So if I had to give in and lose my principles, ignore my morals, and engage in the buffoonery that is a preseason AP poll, I think 14 is probably pretty good. If anything, I think that it might be just a tad bit high. And I'm going to get blasted in the comment section. I mean, give it to me. All right. Give it to me. All right. I get it. But
before you blast him, I want to go back to, I just want to make this announcement again real quick because we got a lot of people out there in the audience. The fantasy football, if you're a member of the channel, the fantasy football for Team Rivalry is coming up and you can be a part of it. I won't go through all the details again. Go back to the beginning of the video and you can get the details there. If you want to be a part of it and you're a member of the channel, DM Mac on X at B1G Team Rivalry, or just drop a note in the comments and we will get you in there. Shannon Graves points out the BCS left out an undefeated Auburn Tigers team, so that poll didn't always work. Matthew says, I feel the AP poll is complete bias and have their personal favorites they place up top every year, just in slightly different order each year. Michigan won in 23, but 24 started 9th. But okay. And I'm not, that kind of makes sense to me though. In fact, I'm not even sure that Michigan should have been as high as 9 because of all the turnover.
But again, that's why I think the poll shouldn't exist.
Well, sure. And yeah, the preseason poll it makes no sense. It really, I mean, if people didn't, clamor for this kind of stuff, the polls wouldn't come out until the CFP poll comes out, because that's the only one that eventually matters anyway. So
yeah, okay. I mean, okay, so you're right. Yeah, so I think Michigan's at 14 because nobody knows what to make of their quarterback situation, and I think frankly nobody really knows what to make of the coaching situation.
Right.
Because there are a lot of people that look at last season and go, how much of that is on Sherrone Moore? How much of that is on a mismanaged quarterback situation? How much of that is on Kurt Campbell? How much of that is on, Jim Harbaugh leaving for the NFL late? And, early on in the season, I feel like, especially that loss against Texas and then the way the quarterback situation was handled, especially against Washington, there's something to be said for Sherrone Moore kind of botching things a little bit. But also Sherrone Moore was kind of backed into a corner. I mean, he had 3 I'm so sorry, unplayable quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So it was a very difficult situation for him to navigate, but I don't think that that's going to be the same case this year, although that's all we have to go off of is feeling. And that's all that this preseason poll is going off of is feeling. But I can say, I can kind of give the same justification. I think that Sherrone Moore has made it perfectly clear that he saw what happened with the quarterback situation last year and said that's never going to happen again. And what you've seen with Michigan quarterback recruiting for the next 3 cycles is pretty good, is really inspired recruiting. Mm-hmm. And for this particular season, bringing in the transfer Jake Garcia and Mikey Keene, I know he wants to fill out that room. The problem is that both of them have injuries. So are they actually going to play? They're sure not going to be the starter. So then you ask yourself, is Bryce Underwood ready? And that's why I think most people have Michigan at 14 here, is they say, theoretically speaking, Michigan should be better in basically every area. It's, will Sherrone Moore, is Sherrone Moore what Michigan actually needs? Was the problem last year actually just the quarterback, or was it systemic? And that's why I feel like you've got Michigan at 14, because that's where that you can put them there and say, well, you know, it's not top 10. So if they do turn out to be bad, then it's not like everyone is going to get, you know, blasted for putting them in the top 10. But if they turn out to be good, then they're not really underrated either. It's like, well, we put them at 14. That means we thought that there was something there. And that's what we've got. Like, we think that there's something there with Michigan. So there's every opportunity for them to actually make something of it.
GT, we will have you on that fantasy football team. We will get you on there. I wrote down your initials. Which actually, I know those aren't actually your initials. That's gaming tremor. I know that. But
well, so GT, do you have a Twitter or something that I can send the link to? Or
yeah, GT, contact. You can also contact both of us in email. Mac is Mac at Team Rivalry. I'm Cliff at Team Rivalry. So that'll work too if you want to send us your info.
.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mac at teamrivalry.com, Cliff at teamrivalry.com.
Yes.
So that's another option.
Nice job.
Thank you. It says I have the ability to turn an 8-man league into a 7-man league. Nice.
That's fun.
Oh yeah. I wanted to go back to Matthew Shepard here. This is kind of this will never happen, but it's a nice thought. Personally, to make it 100% fair, why not keep the AP poll the exact same as it ends the year before? Yeah. I always thought, when I was a kid, I just thought that's what they did, but they don't. No. I think there could be some adjustments there for, you know, players lost, players gained, but they're not going to do that anyway. So it doesn't matter.
No, because so it's a good point though. I mean, the preseason AP poll is going to give storylines. Yeah. That's what it's all about. And I get it. That adds to the drama. So, you know,
yep.
I understand. I just spent like an hour and a half crapping on preseason polls. But,
GT says I kind of like starting at 14, just outside the playoffs, puts a chip on our shoulder. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Somebody else said, I think it was Brandon. Yeah, let them start us at 14. We'll change after week 1. I agree. I have high hopes for Michigan this year. I think they're going to do really well.
Yeah.
JG Watt. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Even though you're a bit late, that's fine. The coaches poll is no good because they don't have time to watch other games. I've always wondered about that too. How can the coaches, you know, rank all these other teams when they're paying attention to their own team? Yeah, it's a good one. Shannon says, "Go Blue." I'm off. Go Blue, Shannon. Thanks for being here. And
have a good night, Shannon.
I think that is going to do it for the show tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Anything else we got going on, Mac? We got, I know it's terrible to do announcements right now because everybody's probably going to log off, but I think we've got fantasy football. So I just want to leave that out there. Check the beginning of the video for all the instructions. You just heard us say you can contact Mac at teamrivalry.com or on X at B1G Team Rivalry. If you want to be a part of it, you also have to be a member. I think that's going to do it. Mac, anything else you want to add?
No, I think you hit it.
Excellent.
Nice job. That was a good wrap up there. Nice summary. Like, just
I'm nailing this stuff, man. I'm getting better at this all the time. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. That's going to do it for us tonight. Mac, take us out.
Don't forget to like and subscribe too. We're like 30 subscribers away from you need to do it again because I needed to say like and subscribe. We need to say like and subscribe. We're 30 subs away from 2,000, and our goal is 2,000 before Michigan kicks off against
New Mexico.
That's it.
We'll read the schedule again. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. All right, so say the thing again.
Mac, take us out.
This is the Michigan Wolverines Team Rivalry Show. That's right. We changed our name in case you missed that.
Oh, yeah, that was at the beginning too.
That was at the beginning too.
All right, go Blue. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.